Welcome to my channel all about zoology. Today I will teach you about species, their concept, their types with example. So first of all, species. The word species is a Latin word that means kind or appearance. That means kind or appearance. Their definition is like a species is often defined as a group of species or a group of organisms that can reproduce naturally with one another and create fertile offspring. Okay, so as we know, the species is a Latin word that means kind or appearance, and the definition of the species is often defined as a group of organisms that can reproduce naturally with one another and create a fertile offspring. Okay, they are a group of closely related organism or species. We can say organism. They are a group of closely related organisms that are very similar to each other. Okay, so they are a group of closely related organisms that are very similar to each other. Very similar to each other. Okay. So this is about species. In a simple way, I am explaining, but if you want the note about species, their types and the example, you can check my Telegram. There are notes are available on the Telegram and the link are given in the description box. You can check. So now this is species and their types. What are the types? Types of species. Okay, so species are divided into 4 types. Okay, so the first one is biological species concept. Biological species concept. The second one is morphological species concept. The third one is ecological species concept. And the last one is phylogenetic species concept. Okay, so species are divided into 4 types or 4 types of concept. The biological species concept, the morphological species concept, the ecological species concept and the phylological species concept. So we have to learn about one by one. The first one is biological species concept. Biological species concept. So biological species concept is what? Those species which are involved biologically, means they can reproduce itself. Okay, so the definition of the biological species concept is what? The biological species concept states that a species in a group of population whose members have the potential to interbreed in nature and produce viable and fertile offspring. They have the potential to interbreed in nature. Okay, so the definition of biological species concept. This concept states that a species is a group of population whose members have the potential to interbreed in nature and produce viable fertile offspring. It is very important line. They have the potential to interbreed in nature and produce a viable fertile offspring. Okay, so as they are biologically involved, there are gene flow occurs. So important point is the gene flow between populations holds the phenotypes of a population together. Okay, and another important point is they do not interbreed or breed, you can say, successfully. They do not interbreed successfully with other species or another population, with another or other populations. Okay, example is eastern and western meadowlarks. Eastern and western meadowlarks. So their looks very similar. Okay, their looks very similar and overlap in range, but they rarely interbreed where their ranges meet due to differences in mating behavior and songs. Thus, they are considered different species under the biological species concept. The second one is morphological species concept. Morphological species concept. Morphological species concept. So what is morphological species concept? Morphology means the morphologically defined characters, such as their body coloration pattern, their size and shape of the body, size and shape of the beaks. So the outer body structure, morphological characters involved in this concept are known morphological species concept. So definition. A species is a set of, actually in a set of organisms that are morphologically similar and look different from other set of organism. Okay, a species in a set of organism are morphologically similar and look different from other set of organism. Okay, the important point is they are defined based on measurable physical traits or morphological characteristics. Defines based on measurable physical traits or morphological characteristics. Okay, as I said, morphologically involved, so it is important. The second point is this concept relies on the idea that organisms belonging to the same species typically look alike and can be distinguished from other organisms of other species by their physical appearance. This concept relies on the idea that organisms belonging to the same species typically look alike and can be distinguished from other organisms of other species by their physical appearance. Okay, so the example of morphological species concept. So let's take a bird species. Okay. Different bird species can often be distinguished by their plumage coloration, their size, their shape of the beak, and overall body proportion. Okay, so for example, the blue jay bird. The scientific name of blue jay bird is Cyanocita cristata. They are easily distinguishable by their distinct color patterns and body shapes. So let's talk about the jay bird, blue jay bird. Okay, so the bird species blue jay bird. Their scientific name is Cyanocita cristata. They are easily distinguishable by their distinct color patterns and their body shapes. Okay, now the third one is ecological species concept. Ecological species concept. Ecological means they are ecologically involved. They are ecologically involved, and they are interact with its environment, their environment. So the definition are: the ecological species concept defines a species in terms of its ecological niche, emphasizing its role in the ecosystem and its interactions with other species. Okay, this concept focuses on how a species interact with its environment, including its habitat requirements, resource use, and ecological relationship. Important point: this concept focuses on how a species interacts with its environment, including its habitat requirements, resource use, and ecological relationship. Okay, so the example. So the commonly used and very important example is the Darwin's finches definition. The important example is Darwin finches definition. What Darwin said: Darwin's finches in the Galapagos Island exemplify the ecological species concept. Okay, and different species of finches have evolved different beak shapes and size to exploit various food sources available on the island. So, for example, finches with large, stout beaks are adapted to cracking large seeds, while those with smaller beaks, more delicate beaks, feeds on insects or drink nectar from flowers. Okay, so this is the example. What finches say that with large stout beaks are adapted to cracking large seed, while those with smaller beak, those more delicate beaks, feeds on insect or drink nectar from flowers. Okay, and the last one is the phylogenetic species concept. Phylogenetic species concept. The phylogenetic species concept. Phylogenetic means they essentially defines a species as a group of organisms whose members are descended from a common ancestor and who all possess a combination of certain defining or derived traits. Okay, this concept defines a species as a group having a shared and unique evolutionary history. It is important. Okay, so this concept defines a species as a group having a shared and unique evolutionary history. It is important. Evolutionary history. Definition. So, the phylogenetic species concept defines a species as a group of organisms whose members are descended from a common ancestor, and who all possesses and who possesses a combination of certain defining or derived traits. Okay. Again, an important thing about phylogenetic species is a phylogenetic concept suggests that species should be considered to be monophyletic or exclusive group. So what is exclusive group? An exclusive group is one whose members are all more closely related to one another than to any individuals outside the groups. It is important. You can note it. Let's talk about the example. So, examples such as bacteria and archaea. So, microorganisms like bacteria and archaea are often classified into species based on their molecular phylogenetic analysis of their genetic sequence. So the genetic sequence is 16S rRNA gene. Okay. So it is about the species. Their types, their concept, and the example. I hope you understood all the chapter. If you are clear with this, please like this video and stay connected with me. And yes, don't forget to subscribe my channel. Till then, take care and bye-bye.